In response to the climate of change, a message from the League of Light. Change is upon you already. The soothing words of learned men can do nothing to alter the course of destiny. While world events rage in defiance against the inevitable rebirthing of planetary sentience, still the steady pace of change advances, unabated, unfathomable, undaunted by the trembling voices and bold pronouncements of those who would deem themselves its managers. Yes, it is about to turn in the direction of abrupt shifting and kneeling desperation, but desolation, desecration of the earth is not within the scope of destiny's lens. Kinetics of change notwithstanding, you are on a path of return to the origin from which you spring. Your truth is emerging. Your humanity is awakening. It is a time for every eye to open to the light of divinity in all things. This is separate from religion, yet envelops every mode of thought regarding who you are, what your planet is, and where the arrow of time is taking the moment from now into the future. This is a time for you to recognize in each other the answers that you seek from within yourselves, not to look to an outside source, not even to take what we say as the absolute truth apart from anything you have as your own truth. For the truth is, we are not separate from you, only in time and dimension. As you settle into the future, so too will you settle into a new reality from which our eventual meeting will be. The game that you entered into when first joining the players on Earth has developed from a search and destroy mission into a general melee which leads more precipitously toward a reality of annihilation coming true. Long ago, the planetary civilization had much to do with the eventual development of your present impasse. Those who reign today are no different from the ones who tore down the edifices of high benevolent civilization long ago. Forgotten to history are the people of a time when each individual had a hand in building a culture of peace and well-being for all, lost to history and relegated to legend and myth. Your long reaches of memory are able yet to recollect the spirit of that time, and with the lessons learned of a time of remembrance, you claim your inheritance as stewards of a new era of light. Gone are the magnificent cities and spheres, but for a few surviving vestiges, and gone are the ones who held them in honor. You are here now, however, and it is up to you to remember, to stand in the center of your own world, to cast aside finally the yoke of powerlessness that had been forged for humanity in the shadows of the past. Free, you can play. Unhindered, you can create the game anew, which is precisely what we are here to help you do. Let us tell you a story of the kind of world that you used to know, when your souls were young to this world, and you had not held the fire of the lost light in your heart as its only place to glow. You once had a civilization that shone with the brilliance of its own light, and that was carried as breath is carried within you now. The light shone in every in-between that held your people together, and it burned the eyes of a thought form that had grown into a monster that loved darkness more than itself. Worlds were destroyed when this creature came of age, and the light of a world was extinguished, as it was. Does this light exist? You know it does, and it shines without interruption in the fields of atemporal unity from which all of reality springs. Yet it is unseen. Yet it only glimmers. Yet it grows and seeks to network itself among those long ago souls who have come back to this playing field to remember and claim a place for light again to ripple throughout the living portals of loving intelligence that you are. Again, you are. Again, the light wends its way through the network of individual amplifiers. It modulates in the matrix space of Earth's sentient sphere, and it envelops all of a world in transformation, on fire, burning, but not laid waste. Wait a moment, for the spark has settled in the field. Now you have the opening that you have looked for in the blank wall of oppression that has cascaded and overshadowed all attempts to climb to a higher point of departure. If only you can reach a high enough point in your trajectory, you can launch yourselves as a people into a completely new reality altogether. Devoid of what has held you in place, in lockstep with your own annihilation, you are able to fly unhindered. You need only know how to see the opening and how to navigate without a hitch. Listen and see if your inner ear nods in agreement on the other side of conditioned belief. Before you let go of the promise of a new world of your own liking depositing itself into your matrix space, you must relieve your coordinates of understanding of the frequency paradigm of belief in what should happen. If you are to allow miracles, if you are to allow the full blossoming of human creative impulse to take place, there must be no shred of preconceived anything to limit its free expression. Even the highest of beliefs can act as barriers to some mind's genius. As easily as you release your breath when you sigh in relief or relaxation, you can let beliefs tumble from your mind and crash with a soul-satisfying splash at your feet. Free your mind if you are to free yourselves. It is not that you believe in nothing, but that you release any parameters that condition what believing in everything and anything would be, and thus you gain limitlessness. As within, so it is in the whole of everything else as well, without separation. Palestine is a place that lives in the world of peace and forgiveness. Syria has never had rest from its tug of wanting to help the world have its interior knowledge. Iran never wanted to house a demon, and its foundation has a fragrance that uplifts the spirit of humanity. Lemuria was part of the lost time and lives in the opalescent memory of love's timeless whisper. Hyperborea has lost its amplitude, but the ideal is yet alive and awaits the return of sanity to interpolate itself within the field of earth as home for star-born civilization again. Atlantis shall never rise as the place it was when it fell, though its essence has persisted and its ideal has sequenced itself into immortality. There is no further damage that can be done than has already been visited upon the world. The indigenous people everywhere have, in the broken pieces of the past, a shard of truth that bears the traces of a war on the ones who had a range from star to star and called Earth the sweet jewel of heaven's sun. Were you there in some form that you remember the sharp spear of light that shattered the crystalline dome of Earth's peace? The shattered pieces of that world lie in piles of sand, kissed by oceans of tears. Yet the day has not lost hope of bringing to rights what was wrenched from the hand of Terra, Earth, Mother. No child, however lost to the world, is ever truly lost to the reach of Mother's love. And so it is with you now. When the legions of Earth's manipulators and power brokers come together to decide the fate of the souls alive and breathing the air of freedom, the planet will have had her fill of their game and open her wings wide to the breath of light. You will have lost the lineage of earlier times, but the mind and the heart of legend live on in your people. Let the day arrive, dear people of Earth, when the cry turns from sorrow to triumph, when the only shadow that falls on the earth's living sight is the end of a long night, and the memory of that will itself turn into the stuff of legend. Will you forget? You will lose the weight of slavery, that is for sure. When you lose the memory of the long eons of time that humanity has been held to a standard of repression, You will have lost a line of a great treasure. You see, memory of light will bring you into your natural place of power, and love will teach forgiveness of even the greatest sins. But only when the dark days of torment and pain are held as a truth, not allowed to perish in disintegration and forgetfulness, will you have the memory of a reign that taught the people of earth to fight for the truth of who you are, and in that will you find the energy to be fully who you have come to this game to be. Nothing was sacrificed that cannot be regained, and no trauma is without eventual integration and peace. Know this, and let anger never cloud your judgment. The days to come will bring great opportunities to recalibrate your ability to look beyond the limitations of game Earth, and to see that the field of play lay far, far beyond what you may believe is all. In truth, the whole of everything awaits your awareness. We leave you now in peace, and with the honor drawn full for a people at the cusp of memory, as history will bear witness. Be strong within, and let the world do what it will to create the balance it needs to emerge more easily into a more comfortable dimension of being. You have nothing to fear, dear ones, and nothing to lose that you have not already let go of long ago. A new reality awaits. Meet us there and rediscover your true nature.